Hi crafters, and welcome to another episode of Technique of the Week Household Edition. So I've taken off all of my jewelry because this is going to get messy, just so you know. So the first one we're going to do is the bubble technique. Now I'm going to put my extra card bases over there, and what I have done in here, let me put a, you know what, let's put, sorry, that's right by the microphone. Let's put this down just to protect our work surface a little. On here, I have two different bases. And in here, I'm using the same re-inkers for all the techniques today. So I'm using Melon Mambo, Coastal Cabana, and Flirty Flamingo. So what I have done in here is I've put a little bit of water, that re-inker, and some dish soap. And what you're going to do is you're going to blow up bubbles and let them pop onto your surface. The more frothy the bubbles, the more tight they're going to be. The more airy, the more open you're going to have those. All right, let me put that over there. Let's go into our Melon Mambo. Let's stir it up. We're popping those bubbles against there. Now I got some of that foamy there, so that's going to be a little more compact. Let's get a few more in there. All right. And the last one we're going to do is a Coastal Cabana. This one I actually added re-inker after the fact to make it darker, and that's why it's so foamy on this one. Get a few more of those bubbles on there. Let's get bubbles, but let's get some of that foam. All right, and then always have a paper towel around to wipe off any extra. All right, so we're going to let these dry by themselves. You don't want to use a heat tool. You don't want to add any like an iron at this point or anything like that, because you want it to dry naturally. Sorry, I just want to get a little more down in that corner there. All right. You can make a lot of backgrounds with this. Just be aware that it is a little bit messy. All right. Let me go ahead. Let me put these over away from here so I don't run the chance of spilling them. As you can see, those now, as the bubbles pop, you can see how you're getting that background. Now, let me show you some I did earlier. The more you use the cups, the more airier it gets, but these were very concentrated on these. Sorry, I have a shadow from the iron being here because that's for our next one. All right, so we'll let these finish drying also. All right, next technique, and you know, I have a schedule worked out what I'm going to do, and then this week Gina K did wax paper, and the minute I saw it on Thursday, her little blurb, I'm like, I was going to do that. So anyway, what you're going to do is you're going to take regular wax paper, and like she stressed, do not use parchment paper. You need something that actually has wax in it. And you're going to unravel this. And I'm going to do, I'm try not to touch the iron. I'm going to do 4 of these. So I'm going to do it on that side. We're going to do it on this side. Now, you know what? I am going to protect my glass board. Even though the glass board can take heat, I'm not going to risk it. So I'm going to put this underneath here. So I have a little protection between the two. So I have the wax paper on both sides of those. And then, all right, it's going to be loud. I'm opening up my printer. And I'm going to get a piece of copy paper. All right. And then you're going to take this and you're going to really press down on it. Now this is an old travel iron. I think I bought like probably 20 years ago. Maybe 15. And you're going to really, now I can start seeing that the wax is transferring onto that typing paper. All right, let me turn this off and unplug it. I'll let that cool off. All right, so now let's take our typing paper off. Remember which sides have the wax on them. So on this, you could drop brie inkers on there, but I think I'm going to actually use brushes here. So here we have the Flurry Flamingo. Here we'll have what we'll use for the Coastal Cabana, and we'll use this for the, let me find one for the Melon Mambo. We'll use this one for the Melon Mambo. And let me go grab those pads real quick. All right. Let's start. Let's go, because I think we want to keep this away from that. That'll just make brown. So let's start with the blue, the Coastal Cabana. Get some ink on there, and let's start at the bottom. Oh, you know what? I don't need this on here now. Sorry. I want to make sure I don't flip those over. I want to make sure the wax stays on top. All right. Throw that on my work chair. And let's start off and go on. All right. And I think I'm just going to do a thin line on all of these just so I remember which side of the wax is up, but I'm not going to color all of these. This will just be a little reminder for me which side is the wax. All right, put those up here by my drying bubbles. All right. Oh, those cups are really putting a shadow on there. Is that any better? All right. All right, so here we have that. This is that Coastal Cabana going over the wax. And you can see, let me put my hand up there. Can you see that? All right, so now we're going to go with the Melon Mambo on the other end. let's get some ink on that. All right, you can see again. All right, it's much different. I'm recording this not as early in the morning as I usually do, and I'm noticing that the sun placement makes a big difference when I'm working. All right, let me get a little alcohol to clean up that, and we'll go to the Flirty Flamingo, which is going to be in the middle. Oops. All right. So there, you can see, let me do it this way maybe. You can see that wax resist, or that wax paper technique. Every type of wax paper is going to give you a different result. The heat of your iron is going to give you a different result. You're never going to have two of them be the same. Let me show you. This one I did earlier today. And you can see how that really showed up. That wax resist. Okay, last one. Sorry, just figuring out what is good here. All right, last one we're going to do. Another oldie but goodie. So this is just an old stamp case. I put some tape on top of the wall. And I'm going to, first, here you want to go from light to dark. So let's put some Flirty Flamingo down there first. You want to make sure. I haven't done this in a while. That's not what you want to do. I'm going to put, let me tap that off. I'm going to put new tape on top. So yes, it's going to stick to your cardstock, but it's against plastic, so you should be able to bring it off without too many problems. All right, so we're going to roll those marbles. It's loud, I know. Because you want to make sure there's no ink that's going to come up. And then you go upside down, you're going to roll the marbles over. So can you see that? Now here's where the problem comes in, because we might be mudding up colors. I am going to put just the blue on. I'm not going to go to the Mambo. I'm just going to go to, did I get a marble in there? Let's just go ahead and go straight to the blue. Oops, sorry. Just putting a few drops in there. Again, I'm going to roll the marbles to get that so there's no ink drippage. Then we're going to go upside down. Okay, let me grab my tweezers. Sorry. I should have put my finger against that adhesive a little bit. But there is that. There's the marble technique. So, let me put this over here on the desk. Let's show you all the examples then. So there's their marble technique. Here are bubble techniques. And here is your wax paper. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Remember, there's so many things around the house you can use to help with your crafting projects, and a lot of them work great for your backgrounds. And when you're doing these techniques, you'll want to do a bunch at a time. You'll get a lot out. Like here, we've done 6 already of these. I probably can finish off my stack here. And then make sure when you go to clean this off that you have a lot of water in your sink so you don't stain your sink. But there we go. There's our 3 household techniques of the week. Thanks for watching. If you don't mind, give me that thumbs up. Share with your friends. If your friends like simplistic or fun deviations of just stamping where you do out of the ordinary things, but it's still simple, have them subscribe to my channel. I think they'll enjoy what they see. All right, as I do every week, I'm rambling, so thank you all for watching. Give me that thumbs up, and we'll see you soon. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.